Open your company's credit card statement right now and scroll down to the recurring line items. What you are looking at is not a list of software assets. It is a calculated, compounding financial bleed. For every bootstrapped founder, solo operator, and independent creator, the dream of the lean enterprise has been quietly hijacked by the SaaS industrial complex. You pay $30 a month for a specialized email tool, $50 for a CRM wrapper, $45 for a social media scheduler, $80 for an internal dashboard builder, and another $100 for an automation middleware layer just to force all these disparate platforms to talk to each other. Before you have even closed your first client of the month, you are already down hundreds of dollars. You are paying a heavy tax simply to move data from one point-and-click interface to another. We tell ourselves that these subscriptions are the mandatory cost of operational efficiency. But if you analyze it objectively, you aren't paying for advanced functionality. You are paying for the visual interface. You are paying a massive premium for a software company to build a pretty front-end button that performs a basic database query or hits an API endpoint. When advanced language models arrived, the promise was that we could consolidate this fragmented mess. Yet we found ourselves trapped in a new layer of friction. Standard AI models are locked inside corporate sandboxes. They cannot see your local files, they cannot query your production databases, and they cannot interact directly with your command line tools. To bridge the gap, you end up buying more software subscriptions, chaining plugins together, and watching your overhead climb toward $500 a month. The structural paradigm shifted completely with Anthropic's release of the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. MCP is not another software as a service app, and it doesn't cost a single cent. It is an open-source universal communication standard that allows an advanced model like Claude to connect directly, securely, and natively to any data source, API, or local environment without requiring custom middleware or expensive subscription wrappers. Today, we are breaking down the exact architectural blueprint to wire Claude directly into your core business infrastructure using MCP, effectively dismantling your bloated subscription stack, and wiping out your $500 a month SaaS bill forever. To understand why this framework destroys traditional software models, you have to look at how data actually moves through the Model Context Protocol. In a standard setup, if you want an AI to analyze your database, you have to export a CSV, upload it to a web browser, download the text output, and manually paste it into another tool. MCP completely bypasses this manual relay race by establishing a standard protocol that acts like an open USB port for intelligence. As shown in the architecture layout, the protocol operates through a beautifully simple three-part relationship: the host, the client, and the server. The host. This is the execution interface, such as the Claude desktop app or your development environment. The client. The secure layer embedded inside the host that initiates and maintains the protocol connection. The server, a lightweight, local, or remote script that exposes specific capabilities, like database connections, API access, or file system task execution. Instead of paying a third-party software platform to sit in the middle of your operations, you run open-source MCP servers locally or on a private server. Claude can now read your local development repositories, query your PostgreSQL or SQLite databases directly, and execute command line operations with absolute precision. The model isn't guessing through a browser window, it is plugged directly into the raw metal of your business data layer, executing complex administrative work with zero middleman software required. The first major line item we target for elimination is the lead generation and data enrichment stack. Most solo agencies and tube operators pay a premium for platforms that scrape websites, look up company metadata, and format lead profiles inside a proprietary CRM dashboard. We replace this entire infrastructure by running a combination of the open-source sequential web browser and Google Maps/Places MCP servers directly inside Claude. When a new prospect enters your pipeline, you don't log into a third-party dashboard. You instruct Claude to execute the enrichment protocol. The model uses the local browser server to navigate to the target company's domain, extracts their active tech stack, parses their core value proposition, cross-references their geographic data via the mapping API, and structures the entire payload. Once the enrichment is complete, Claude calls your local SQLite or Postgres MCP server, instantly inserting the structured lead data directly into your self-hosted database tracking system. You have completely duplicated the data pipeline of a high-end enterprise CRM using zero-paid software tools, turning raw inbound signals into fully enriched client-ready profiles for the cost of basic API compute tokens. The second heaviest financial drain on the bootstrapped founder is the internal tool and data visualization stack. When you need to monitor your business metrics, track recurring subscription revenue, or analyze web traffic, you typically pay for no-code dashboard builders to pull your database records into visual charts. We wipe out the subscription layer by leveraging Claude's native code execution capabilities, paired with database MCP integration. Because the client allows Claude to interact directly with your data storage, you can ask the model to analyze complex tables in plain language. Query our transaction log for the last quarter, calculate the customer churn rate month over month, and generate an interactive financial health chart. The model connects to the database server, executes the exact SQL queries required, pulls the raw matrix into its context window, and builds a customized visualization chart using its native code sandbox. You aren't clicking buttons inside a rigid chart template that you have to pay a monthly license fee to maintain. You are generating dynamic analytics tools on demand, interacting directly with your live data infrastructure with zero software overhead. The final point of major financial leakage occurs in the marketing distribution layer. Independent founders routinely shell out money for social media schedulers, content calendars, and asset management platforms just to queue up text posts, image assets, and technical articles across their digital channels. We phase out this costly middleware entirely by utilizing specialized API-driven MCP servers. By connecting GitHub, Slack, and Universal Fetch tools directly to Claude's runtime environment, your media pipeline transforms into a singular, unified workspace. As highlighted in the system integration model, a single host interface can command an infinite array of specialized servers simultaneously. When you need to deploy a marketing campaign, Claude pulls your raw asset templates from a local directory, builds the optimized copy structures, cross-checks your scheduling database to find an open publication slot, and pushes the code or text payloads directly to your distribution endpoints via verified API servers. The entire chaotic web of subscription-based automation tools is collapsed into a clean, local configuration file, allowing your business to run an elite distribution network with zero monthly software dependencies. When you strip away the sleek marketing copy of the modern SaaS economy, you realize that most subscription applications are simply expensive visual wrappers built around basic data actions. By moving your operational core to an open, protocol-based architecture, the financial math of your business completely flips. For a lean founder or bootstrapped builder, that $550 a month subscription drain represents thousands of dollars in pure profit vaporized every single year. Shifting to a protocol-driven infrastructure doesn't just protect your hard-earned revenue, it completely removes the technical dependencies that slow down your execution. You can spin up new data pipelines, query local databases, and interface with external platforms in seconds, running a multi-thousand-dollar software environment entirely inside a single open-source protocol. The fundamental truth of navigating the modern software market is that paying for pretty user interfaces is a massive tax on your profitability. Continuing to hand over hundreds of dollars every month for basic front-end buttons is simply a waste of your hard-earned financial leverage. Your tactical challenge for the next 24 hours is to look at your business credit card statement and isolate the single most expensive SaaS tool you use purely to view or move data. Download the open-source repository for that specific database or API server, link it to your local environment file, and run your very first programmatic query using Claude Desktop. If you are ready to stop feeding the subscription beast and want immediate access to the pre-configured configuration files and terminal setup commands that collapse your software bill to absolute zero, the complete MCP master architecture templates are ready for you in the description down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button because in our upcoming system layout, we are revealing how to build a fully localized, secure data vault that lets you run complex market intelligence analysis completely offline. See you in the next one.